Good evening on this Monday.
What's going on, folks?
Danny Boy with you along with Bill Corpus Crispy. How's it going, buddy?
Going well. How are you?
I'm all good. Excuse me. I'm so sorry about that. Um, a lot of text messages coming in for me today. I'm a very popular man, Billy Boy.
You're a very popular guy there, bro.
Exactly. Um, yep, no, good weekend. I was able to go to New York, visit the family for a little bit, get like nice little getaway. Um, So thank you to my family for welcoming me back to my hometown. I was able to get some nice New York and New Haven pizza. Um, and of course, see some friends along the way. It was pretty nice. So,
Come by and see me. I know how it is, Reg. I see how it is.
if I can recall from our private convos, you said you were going to be with a girly girl this weekend. So,
Yeah, well, then that blew up.
yeah. So that's
Oh,
why I didn't
yeah,
plan
just
it.
stuff came up on that side, so you're right.
Yeah. But next time, I promise. I'll make the drive to
Where
Harbor
I live.
Station. Did I expose your living location too much of it?
Okay, this is where I gotta leave, and maybe next time you get to meet the girl.
Yeah. We'll put you
What do you
into
do?
witness protection. In any case.
I have to go witness protection now.
In any case. We appreciate you, we thank you, we love you. Thanks for always joining us. We appreciate this, really do. And this is episode number 435 of SIP right here on the YouTube channel, SIN's YouTube channel, that is. As always, we're sponsored by the lovely folks over at the Dugout of Millwood. And um, I don't know, Bill, this past weekend wasn't very happy with the results of our baseball team.
Yeah, you know what? Before we get into that, we're just gonna make guys, today's not gonna be a long show. We really have next to nothing to talk about.
I mean, what's new? Nothing.
Well, Yankees, congratulations to the NFL Hall of Fame inductees. Congratulations, Luka Doncic. Here's our top five. Thank you. Good night.
Exactly. Um, but yeah, it's a disastrous weekend. Um, though that Luka deal was pretty top notch. We'll congratulate him a little later.
Congratulations. Yeah, let's congratulate him.
Oh, but man. But yeah, we'll get to all the Hall of Fame stuff. It was a very nice, very quiet Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame weekend. Um,
Yeah, but first of all, dude, the freaking Yankees, man. The freaking Yankees. You believe it?
you know what? I do. I really do, Bill. And honestly, like by the time we get to our next Bombers banter, there's nothing that we're going to be talking about that we haven't already said. Maybe we'll have updates on the division and the wild card, where the Yanks stand and everything. You are who you are. They are.
This is a team you should be able to beat with your freaking eyes closed.
That's what we thought, right?
God had other plans.
I think you are who you are. Like, isn't that fair to say at this point?
Yes, you know what I think the worst of it? I think the worst of the game was Friday night, believe it or not.
Well, Friday was, and look, this is just as much. This whole weekend basically was just as much as this that's baseball season than anything else that I've ever seen. You know, because you're thinking the Yankees get off to this massive 6-0 start, right? They're going to be cruising to a victory against the lowly Miami Marlins, who are playing for nothing. And then, of course, No, that doesn't happen. The Marlins come back. Even the Yankees, they kept trading jabs with the Marlins, right? You know, Marlins get it to within 2 runs. Yankees push back, go back up like 5 runs, then the Marlins tie it, take the lead. Yankees retake the lead in the ninth inning, and then can't do anything in extras.
No, it was just, it's a joke. It's a freaking joke.
Yeah. And what's even worse is when Boone, and of course I don't know why he was doing this, but he goes to the newer bullpen pieces, trying to think,
Yeah, let's go to the people who haven't pitched before or who are just pitching today. Yeah, let's do that.
all the newer bullpen pieces that we acquired from the trade deadline, acting like they've been a part of our fold for a long time, trying to think that he's smarter than us. Instead of using a Luke Weaver who had a day off, instead of using a Tim Hill, all these people that actually have been good for us, right? No, let's use the newer bullpen piece. Let's put Jake Bird in. Yeah, let's give up the lead with him. Let's put in a Bednar. Yeah, how did that work out? He gave up the lead, right? Let's put in a Doval, Camilo Doval. Yeah, he's the one that gave up the win. So I,
Yeah, who's the brilliant genius of Aaron Boone?
oh, but Jake Bird had a better Saturday than Friday. I don't care what he had on Saturday.
No, I'm sorry. A loss is a
I don't
loss, you dumbass.
care. I don't care. And then worse, and then of course on top of that, you score what? They score what? 12, 13 runs, whatever it was on Friday. You can't get a run on Saturday and can only manage what, like 3, 4 runs on Sunday?
Yeah, this is just.
It's brutal, man. And I thought we hit rock bottom. I think we're going further down. I think the worst hasn't happened yet.
No, this is. You know where the Yankees are right now, Reg? The New York Yankees are in third place.
Mhm. In the wild card.
You heard that. They are in third place. They are
And,
4.5 games back of the AL East, of the Toronto
and
Blue Jays.
And let's be honest, Bill. If they have another bad week, I could see them being out of the playoff spot.
I can too. If you go to the wild card, go to the wild card standings, they're hanging on by a thread.
I'm telling you, Bill, look, I don't want this to happen because I'm a Yankee fan and I want my team to win. I think we need to humble ourselves. I really think this type of situation here that's happening to the Yankees, as much as we hate it, as much as we have to go through it, I really think this is a humbling experience. It's something that we never want to happen, but it's a humbling experience. And they're gonna blame injuries to Aaron Judge. They're gonna do the whole 9 yards, right? They're gonna do everything.
Gonna give us the whole song and dance.
Yeah, the typical BS.
Oh, Judge was injured.
Yeah,
Oh, we were down 2 pitchers. We were down Garrett Cole and Clark Schmidt. Oh, the sun was in my eyes. Oh, this. Oh, they
didn't
didn't
we
bring my favorite candy bar.
didn't all these defensive pieces that we got, whether it was in the offseason or whether it was during the trade deadline, which of course I think the Yankees did absolutely nothing. But weren't all these pieces supposed to help us defensively so that we could be better defensively because we were missing a big offensive piece in Juan Soto? Wasn't that the whole point? That's what
Yeah,
I
it wasn't like
understand,
the
right?
whole deal is, hey, we're gonna make this pivot post Soto. Dude, I'm embarrassed right now.
Yeah. There's nothing else to say other than like it is just absolutely it is sad to watch and I'm just gonna say it straight up. I don't think this team is making the playoffs. I don't.
I don't think so either.
And you know what?
Unless they can go on some miraculous run,
Yeah.
I won't hold my breath.
It, when we saw Aaron Judge go on IL, I had a really bad feeling. I had
Oh,
a
I did too.
really bad feeling, and
But you
it's
know what?
coming
This
true.
Aaron Judge going on the IL. You know what that really shows?
Mhm.
Is he really only the big part of this team?
Yeah. Well,
Well,
that
Bellinger's been doing good. Bellinger's been
Bellinger's
doing
fine. Yeah, I have no issues there. Um,
Ryan McMahon. He's
no, we should have gotten Suarez. Look,
I agree. We should have gotten
this is
Suarez.
why. This is exactly why. Um,
We present to you the brilliant genius of Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone.
yeah.
We present to you the brilliant genius of these two dumbasses.
Yeah. You
So
are who you are, Bill.
at this point, you are. And like, you know who the Yankees are behind in the wild card right now?
The Mariners,
No, even worse.
the Red Sox.
And if we go
I
to a
could,
one-game playoff with them, guess
I
how
could,
that's gonna
I
go?
could, I could name you a bunch of teams right now. Right now, I'm more worried about. I'm not even worried about a one gamer against the Red Sox. I'm worried about the Mariners right now because the Mariners can take the lead like right now.
You know what? This should be the listen. I'm sorry. This if the Yankees miss the playoffs, or I'm gonna be super generous right now. Or if they lose in a one-game playoff in the wild card, you know what? I'll be super generous. They lose the LDS, then guess what? Should be gone. Cashman should be gone because if that's the case we're going, dude, and in that scenario, you have missed the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 seasons.
I really think the Yankees need to miss the playoffs. I
That
don't
may
want it to
actually
happen.
cause Hal Steinbrenner to wake up.
I don't want it to happen. I don't
I don't
because
either.
I'm a Yankee fan. I always want to win. But you know what? I'm tired of the same crap we have to hear every night about why defensive miscues were happening. Why the manager continues to make boneheaded decisions when it comes to the bullpen. And he has mismanaged this bullpen all season long. Why we have to continue to see Brian Cashman not go after big guns. And him saying, "Oh, well, we knocked on the door with some of these starters, but we couldn't get a deal done. We didn't want to trade Spencer Jones. We didn't want to do any of these things to make our team better now because it's about winning now." It's getting frustrating. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think it's a good thing because it's not working.
You know what? I have a question I need to ask you. And I think this is a question, it's a very important question, Reggie. Why on God's green earth? Joe Torre, for those years between 2001 and 2007. Okay, in Torre's case, the guy won 4 World Series. He was able to go out on his own terms. He was able to leave on his own terms. How come Girardi won the World Series in 2009? Credit where credit's due. But then 2010 to 2017, he stays. And then now Aaron Boone, okay, Torre and Girardi, okay, well, Torre, like I said, he could go out on his own terms. He won 4 World Series. Girardi, who only won 1 World Series in his second season, at least he won a World Series. The now, what's his face? Aaron Boone is now just is in his seventh season as manager.
Mhm.
And he's not won a World Series. I ask this. Why do I feel like I ask this every week? Why the hell is he still here?
But it doesn't matter. All you gotta do is make the playoffs, right? And you should be in
God, the
good
bar
hands.
is so low.
Like I just don't know. Like and this is really more of a Brian Cashman issue than it is an Aaron Boone issue. And I know people are gonna kill me for that, but Brian Cashman has been on a major leash right now for 16 seasons. Leash. No one gets a leash with a with years where he's missed the playoffs too. You have to understand that. No one is given this much of a leash, and he hasn't won. He risked it. He got away from Girardi, saying, "Oh, we need a different voice," right? How's it working? Your other voice.
It's spoiler. It's not.
It's not working. You are who you are. You're a team that's poorly managed. You're a team that is bad defensively. You're a team that relies on the home run. You're a team that, regardless of what the stats say, can't get on base, right? Like, you are who you
Absolutely.
are. It's the same song and dance every single time. When Soldier Boys, the song comes up, they do the dance, right?
Yeah.
When Cha Cha Slide, Electric Slide, when it comes up, they do the dance, right? Is that
Yeah.
on repeat?
Don't know anymore. This team is just not producing.
It's the same crap over and over again. At some point, when do people look at this and be like, and again, it all falls back on the manager and the GM. It's not on Jose Caballero and him misfielding a base hit. I don't care about that. It's the same crap. The common denominator is Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
They're missing the playoffs. I'm telling you. I don't trust the team anymore. I don't
I'm not
trust them.
trusting this team right now, to be honest with you either.
They're going to be in third place in the wild card.
And who do we have to blame? Who do we
I,
have to
wa- I,
blame?
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear anybody. I don't want.
Nobody.
I don't want to hear that everybody is the problem. I want to hear the right names. Cashman, boom,
Absolutely.
plain and simple.
So yeah, folks, we're not gonna lie to you. The Yankees are an absolute fucking disaster. They're a disaster, my friend. And well, other baseball news, the Bristol Motor Speedway game happened this week again.
Did you watch? I didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
I actually didn't, but the Braves beat the Reds, so
Mhm. Yeah. I saw bits and pieces of it. Why would you put baseball on a motor speedway? Like that
good
looks
question.
come on now. That's another thing with baseball. These gimmicks gotta stop. I like the Rickwood Field. That was cool. I like the Field of Dreams. That was cool. This motor speedway crap. No more. That's the last time you do that. Do that bullshit. Never again.
Just no more. We're done.
Yeah. I don't mind going back to Field of Dreams. I don't mind going back to Rickwood Field. I'm not going back to the a racetrack to play baseball.
Where are they gonna play next? On an ice hockey rink?
I
Baseball for
mean,
kids.
if you're a fan of indoor baseball with 100 feet home runs,
You know what I could see them actually? What if they did this, a baseball game in Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, I'm telling you, all of the home runs are going to be like 50 feet.
It might sound stupid, but people, let's not rule it out because you know the brilliant geniuses at Major League Baseball are gonna think about that.
No, they would definitely do like a soccer stadium,
Or,
like
dude, I got an even better idea.
or an American football stadium before they do anything indoors. And
I
they
got an idea what they'll probably do one day. Ready? Baseball in space.
that oh my God,
Oh,
baseball and
that'd be so cool.
that.
You know, Manfred is probably thinking of it right now.
I honestly don't know what he's thinking.
Does he ever think?
I don't know. Does he?
Does he think, Reggie?
Sometimes he doesn't. He's one of the
Sometimes he never thinks.
he's one of the worst commissioners I've ever seen in my life. The fact that we still haven't upgraded our challenge system in baseball is
Redonkulous.
that alone shows you how what type of commissioner he is.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. And then of course the way he treats the players, the way he uh does all this bullshit, the way he continues to defend the Hall of Fame committees, like everything about him just sucks.
No, I agree, bro.
Yeah, and then let's add this baseball classics, whatever you want to call it. But in any case, um, that's baseball. By the way, while we are trashing the Yankees, they actually took a 1-0 lead. Paul Goldschmidt finally hitting a home run, actually doing something for us. Like it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
No, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. So, yeah. Okay, so are there any are there let's see. NFL news this week and we had a Hall of Fame weekend.
We did.
Had a Hall of Fame weekend this weekend. And we got some new inductees, don't we, Reggie?
Yeah, we congratulate Sterling Sharp, Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, all four making the Hall of Fame. And I know it's still bittersweet for Billy Boy because he wants his own Eli Manning to join the core.
You know who's gonna be the yeah, I would love to see Eli there, but he'll get there one of these days.
Yeah,
Did you see who
he
you know
doesn't
what
deserve it. But
you
yeah.
know who I think is eligible for next year?
Mhm.
Drew Brees.
You know what? I think he gets in.
Oh, I
I
think so too.
I'm on the fence with Drew Brees, to be honest. I don't think he was that great, but sure, get in, you know.
Yeah, so yeah, Drew will be eligible for the Hall of Fame next year.
Yeah. So, but it was Hall of Fame weekend. We had our first preseason game. I think we talked about that on Friday, but
Yes, we did.
again, no one cares.
No one cares.
No one cares. No one cares about the Lions right now. No one cares about the Chargers right now. Whoever was playing, no one cares. You know.
And fine, and yeah. So also moving on, we'd like to congratulate Luka Doncic.
Yeah. How about this? I believe it's a 3-year, $165 million max deal that he was eligible for. He signs with the Lakers. Obviously, LeBron is all about it. He's telling his boy, hey, no, obviously giving his own little congratulatory text messages and all that stuff, video chats. Um, this is a great move by the Lakers. You know, you traded for him. The plan wasn't just to have him be a rental. No, the plan is let's have him for next season and beyond. You want to win a championship, so win a championship. You have the tools. Um, so no-brainer move by the Lakers to get it done. You get your man, big time shooter, and look, if LeBron and Luka play with each other, so far they've had a good record, 16-7. So get the job done if you're Lakers. I think they have the
3 years and $165 million extension.
yeah, again, it is a max deal that he was eligible for. So he was eligible to get it from the Lakers. So
Congratulations to Luka Doncic.
yeah, no brainer move.
All right. Reg, guess what time it is?
Top five.
Top five. Okay,
Top
for those.
five.
Okay, we usually do top fives on Friday, but being the dumbasses we are, we totally didn't get ready for it last week. So, you get a special treat.
Two top fives this week.
You get two top fives this week.
Two. One today, one Friday. Um, and it's our treat. We just appreciate all the fans and that may have enjoyed the top five that didn't get it and everything. So um
So today's topic is actually a very interesting one.
yeah.
If you remember the last top five we did our top five best teams to never win a championship, to not win a championship. Now we're gonna flip that. You know, there are teams that play ass all year, yet they still end up winning.
Or teams that maybe no one expected. They were supposed to completely spit the bit and overachieved. However you
So
want to take it.
today we are counting down our top five worst teams to win a championship.
Yep.
And we got some. Reg, you want to start or you want me to start?
Let you start.
All right.
I'm curious about your five.
Reg, you're actually going to be shocked about who I have as my number five.
Okay.
The 2011 New York Giants.
Okay.
Because you got to look at this. The NFC East that year was absolutely god awful.
Mhm.
And you know what? It literally went down to the last day. I remember it was New Year's Day night. The Giants were playing against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. And it literally went down to the last game, and the Giants ended up winning.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, their offense was strong. They were ninth in points scored that year, but they were 25th in points allowed. And when it came to rushing yards, they were they were dead last in rushing yards, and their defense was absolutely atrocious. And their defense was garbage. And yes, we beat Brady, and yes, we go through the same thing. Beat the number one seed in the playoffs. Then we beat Brady in the Super Bowl again, which was great. But the Giants that year were just not that good. In the words of our dear friend the Patch Man, they were a team who was stupid enough to go on a run.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number five, the 2011 New York Giants. Reggie, over to you, bro.
Bill, you're gonna hate me. The 2011 New York Giants.
We swiped right.
Here's why. Everything that you just said, plus the fact that um you can't tell me on paper the Giants were supposed to beat the Packers, but they did. You can't tell me on paper that the Giants were supposed to beat the Patriots or the Cowboys before that in the regular season, both regular season games against the Cowboys, right? But they did.
Yes,
That was one of the worst Giants teams I've ever seen in my life.
it was.
Like I'm just being real here. They were not good offensively. Defensively, they were okay. They made the plays when they had to. Special teams was okay too. But at the end of the day, the reason why they won the championship is because they got hot at the right time. I'm calling it like it is. They got lucky that they got hot at the right time because just one loss, Bill, one loss, you don't see a playoffs at all. So, and no, this is not me being a jealous baby that the Giants beat the Jets that year, which they did. Um,
Sorry, I can't hear you over my two Super Bowl rings, Reg.
exactly. But no, that was one of the worst Giant teams I've ever seen in my life.
No, no, no,
And
it was. Listen, I'm a Giants
yeah,
fan. You see my poster right there,
yeah.
but I will admit that was not a good Giants team.
And the proof was in the next year because they ran it back with basically the same team. Well, additions, subtractions here or there, right? Basically the same team, 2012. You would think, okay, cool. Let's run it back. At least a playoff berth. They didn't make the playoffs. Is there a reason why they didn't make the playoffs? They suck. They're terrible.
Because, no, no, I totally agree. So, yeah, the 2011 New York Giants team are both of our number five for worst teams to win a championship.
Yeah. The only reason why they weren't the worst because they actually did have good quarterback play and good offense when they did, when they needed it, when they mattered most.
All right, you ready for my number four?
Go for it.
The 2005 Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
Because you know what? This is one of those things where sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good.
Yeah.
Be- because yeah, through through I think the last 12 games of that season, the Steelers only went 7-5.
Yeah.
And then, they got lucky because of Mike Vanderjagt had a meltdown of epic proportions to send the Steelers to the conference championship. And in that game, Bettis fumbled in that game against the Colts. Bettis fumbled in that game versus the Colts.
Mm.
And what and here's an and also, that's how you send Jerome Bettis off into retirement. And plus, that game against the Seahawks, the Super Bowl, was a boring game. It was a really dull game.
Yeah.
So at least the 2011 Giants, at least Super Bowl 46 was an interesting game to watch.
Right.
Super Bowl 40 against the Steelers Seahawks game, dude, was a freaking snore fest. So yeah, this is one of the where it actually, guess what? Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah.
And at least Jerome Bettis got a ring before he went off into retirement. So I'll give him that. All right, Reggie, my boy, what do you got as number four?
Number four, and when going through this list, I wrestled with some of these. But number four, I'm going to go with the Miami Heat, 2005, 2006 Miami Heat. A team that, had to go through the likes of the Detroit Pistons, who were like unbelievable at that time. Detroit Pistons were a tremendous team, coming off championships and everything. Um, and the Heat were struggling just to figure out how to work Shaq into their lineup. They acquired Shaq from the Lakers and nowhere to put him, basically, right? They're also trying to figure out with this new with Pat Riley as their coach, because they had Stan Van Gundy the year before. The up and down season for the Miami Heat weren't crazy, but yet, they were able to get to the finals after some luck, and they were down 0-2 to the Dallas Mavericks before coming back and winning the series. So I'm going with Miami Heat, 2005, 2006, Miami Heat. Young Dwayne Wade and aging Shaquille O'Neal, but still got the job done.
All right. Ready for my number three?
Number three, baby.
The 2000 New York Yankees.
Mhm.
Because, yeah, you see, folks, I'm being non-biased. I put the Giants on this list, I put the Yankees on the list. Because here's the thing, when I think of those Yankee dynasty years, 96, 98, 99, 2000, this and the 99 team, okay, the 99 team was good, I'll give them that. But the 2000 team, the only thing I think that saved them was because it was a Subway Series. Yankees only won 87 games that year. And you had relatively the same roster that you won in 98, that you won in 99 with. 1999, David Cohn, who pitched a perfect game. 2000, he had a shit year. And also, they lost 27 less games and they won 27 less games than they did in 1998 and 11 less games they won the year before. And this was the year where you had Jeter, Posada, Mariano, Clemens, Tino Martinez, Paul O'Neill. Well, you had most of the guys from those other three World Series teams, and yes, okay, there were injuries here and there, but you just there. Like this is the only thing that makes me think about this is because it was a Subway Series, Reg. Because '96, you think about okay, this was the first time the Yankees won a World Series since 1978, and Yankees won the World Series for the first time since 1978. And a lot of people forget the Yankees were down 2 games to nothing in that series. And they won four in a row without an off with well, first they went down to Atlanta, took 3 games without an off day. That's something nobody really talks about. Because game one got postponed due to rain. And then they came back to the Bronx and took game six. But then, Reg, and then 1998, you have probably the best Yankee team ever, winning 114 games, and then them just being a freaking wrecking ball. And dude, then 2000, they are one of the few teams to get in the world to win a World Series by winning less than 90 games that season. So I think this is another instance that the Yankees in 2000 just got lucky. So yeah, that is my number three, the 2000 New York Yankees. And yet they will be honored this Saturday at Old Timers Day.
Yeah, because they won a world championship. That's why,
Do we
But
really have to honor them? Do we really have to?
25th anniversary, right?
Do we really have to honor this team?
Uh,
Yay, you won! Now let's go. Let's go on with our day.
Fun fact about my number three. This team only played 161 games because they had a rain out against the Florida Marlins that was not rescheduled due to constraints, and they didn't need to because they won the division at 87 wins and cruised their way over to the World Series, the 2000 Subway Series, and they didn't need that 162nd game. So why play an extra game, Bill? What's the point? What's the point?
Wow. We have the same number five and we have the same number three.
That was the division was so close that year too. I believe the Red Sox were only 2.5 out when it was all said and done. Um, but that Yankee team, I believe they went on a tough losing stretch at like the end of the season. I vaguely
Yeah.
like it was one of the worst losing stretches in baseball that season. And yet they still won the division, made the playoffs. This was not look, the team obviously won a World Series. They came through when they needed to, but certainly not what 98, 99 was for the Yankees.
Or even Reg, the last day of the season in which they won the AL East, if you watch the captain,
Yeah.
they got shellacked by the Orioles in that game.
Mhm.
But since I think Boston lost, they won the division and they were going back and there was like literally champagne lined up in front of the locker room and they like none of us wanted to take it.
Yeah.
None of us wanted to take it. And they were that was a joke, bro.
Yeah. I think what and if I cut you off, I apologize. I think what was what the Yankees had on their side that season was experience in the playoffs. The fact that they won the playoffs, the fact that they've lost in the playoffs, they know what it feels like. You know, the fact that they had experience on their side with that squad was the one that took him over the top. Because other than that, you know, who no, I don't think anyone was thinking the Yankees were gonna win that season.
I don't think so either.
Crazy.
Okay, you ready for my number two?
Number two, baby.
The 1987 Minnesota Twins.
Okay. That's an interesting one.
Okay, because let me tell you, they did worse than the 2000 Yankees.
They were really bad.
Like the 2000 Yankees won 87 games. The
Yeah,
Twins only won in 1987 85 games.
yeah.
And they were outscored by 20 runs.
Mhm.
Their opponents outscored them by 20 runs. And then but they had some sparks there like Brett Bevelin and Frank Villalba who were good starting pitchers. And then Les Stracker. And then they managed to beat a heavily favored Tigers team to win the pennant. And then they ended up beating the Cardinals in the World Series. So, yeah, another one of those examples. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Only 85 wins. Can you believe that? All right, Reggie, who you got at your number two? Reggie?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm so sorry.
Okay, Reggie's dealing with something right now, but yeah, Reggie's dealing with something right now. He'll be back in a second, but yeah, the I still can't believe that there were teams who won less than 90 games that won the World Series. Can you believe that, folks? I can't. Oh, Reg, hope you come back soon. hmm Okay, I'm waiting for you. So yeah, I wonder who number one is gonna be. Reg had my same number five and same number three, and wonder if he's gonna have the same number two, number one. I'm like just very curious. I'm very curious to see what he has. Very curious to see what he has.
Okay. My apologies, folks. I was not expecting an important phone call, but I got it. So, like, oh, I'm sorry, Bill.
Yeah, I had to sit here and stall for them.
Yeah.
All
Good
right,
job for stalling. I do apologize. I'm so sorry about that, Bill.
it's okay. All right, who do you got as your number two?
Um, so for my number two, um, I have the 2006 St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay.
Now the Cards, um, just like the Tigers, we didn't expect we didn't have them on our bingo cards to win the World Series that year, right? Um, the Cardinals were 83 and 78 that season.
Yes, they were only 5 games over 500.
Now they did win the Central, but that Central division was terrible. They were not expected to beat the Mets, the 97 win 2006 New York Mets, right? They were not expected to beat them. But they took them to 7 games and won that National League championship. So, credit where credit's due. Cardinals pitching came through when it did. The hitting wasn't that great, but managed to get some big time runs. And they were able to pull through, but that was not a good Cardinals team. Like I'm just being real. I'm looking at everything that happened throughout the season. The second best team in that Central Division by the time, by the way, there were 6 teams at the time in that division, was the 82 and 80 Houston Astros. And
Really now.
the Cardinals were terrible on the road too. So the fact that they were able to beat the Mets on the road in Game 7 was also pretty shocking. Um, but yeah, the Cardinals are my number two in 2006. Worst team win the championship.
You know what? It's kind of funny that you put, because if you remember when we did the five best teams to not win a championship,
Yeah,
I had the 2006 Mets on my list. I don't know if you remember that.
yeah,
And then you have the 2006 Cardinals. So that's pretty funny.
yeah.
Okay, my number one is the 1977-1978 Washington Bullets, now the Wizards.
Okay.
They began their season by losing 6 of their first 10 games, but then would go on an 18-5 embark
They sure did.
to become competitive. They went through a bunch of injuries, and they would hover around the 500 for the rest of the season, but then they would squeak into the playoffs with a 44-38 record. Um, yeah, and they beat the and they beat hold on, and they ended up beating the Seattle Supersonics in 7 games. So yeah, this was the team and that was actually the Sonics, Supersonics didn't do all that great either that year. This was the first time in 20 years that both teams had under 50 wins.
Yeah.
That both teams had under 50 wins.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Number
the
one.
number one is the 1977-1978 Washington Bullets.
Oh,
Reggie, who do you got?
my number one, Rifkin and Olowska and all the Met fans are gonna be killing me for this. But the 1969 New York Mets.
Well,
Now, record-wise, the Mets had a phenomenal season. They won 100 games. They made it to the World Series, beat the Orioles. It was just a great season. This team finished like ninth or 10th or whatever it was the year before in 68 or something like that. Like they were literally, at the time, they were in the lovable losers age. They were still, fairly new to the Major League Baseball scene. And all they did was lose. They had Casey Stengel on the tail end of his managing career and everything. Like everything about the Mets just wasn't great until that 69 season. And like I said, record-wise, they were phenomenal, but no one expected that. That's why they called it the miracle season, because no one really expected the Mets to be great, but yet they were, and they won the World Championship.
okay.
Now, by the way, they did um lose that game one in that World Series before winning four straight. So
That's an interesting choice. The
yeah, I
1960.
know it kind of goes against what you were trying to do there, but you see my point though, right?
I can see it, yes.
This team wasn't really expected, but they had a great season and ended up winning championship. So
Okay, I can agree with you on that. So yeah, that is our top five. And guess
yeah.
what? Friday, you get another one.
Yeah, baby.
Let's do it. All right. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. Sorry it was a bit of a slow one because again, we didn't really have a lot to talk about.
Right.
But yeah, if you want to see more, go to www.dsportsstadiumnetwork.com. Check out our blogs, check out our history. If you want to see more here, check us out here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. And check out our podcast available wherever you get your podcast.
All right.
And also, again, a big thanks to the Dugout of Millwood for sponsoring this. And from Danny Boy Reginald and myself, Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy, stay safe, take care.
Folks, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you Friday.
All right, have a good week, folks.
Bye.